Hi everyone, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. So let's wait for 5 to 7 minutes, then we can start the session. Okay, so let's start the session now. I am sharing my screen. Let me know once it is visible.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
It's visible. Okay, good. So we can start the session now. Let me turn on my Linux. Is this screen perfectly visible? The font is okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, it is okay.
okay. So in the last session, like yesterday, what we have discussed about the process. We talked about process yesterday. We discussed that there is a start process when we start something. So the process will get started. There is a sleep process when the process is idle for a particular duration and nothing is happening. So that process will be known as sleep process. The another type of process is your stop. When you stop the process, when you kill the process, that time it will become the inactive process. So you can call it as dead or you can call it as stop. Then comes the zombie. In the zombie process, the parent process will get deactivated. It will dead. Maybe the work has been finished of the parent process, so it will dead. All the other child process will be still active, but they are not actively doing anything. They are just consuming the resources. So those kind of dead process will be known as zombie. Then we discussed that every process will have a PID value. That's called process ID value. If any other process is dependent on the main process, so there will be two kind of segregation. The first one will be known as parent process, and parent process will always have PPID, parent process ID, and the associated and dependent process will be known as child process. So child process will always get their work from the parent process. All the resources will be allocated by the parent process to the child. That's how the process works. So in case if someone asks what is process, so process is a mid section, you can say it is a continuing stage of any running function. Whatever you are doing in the Linux, whatever application you are using, whatever console you are accessing, so everything is being utilized as a process in the backend. So the phase between start to end of a running task is called your process. Now, if we go to the Linux machine, in the Linux machine, how we can see the process in case I want to see how many processes are running on this Linux machine, then how we would be able to see that? So that's very easy. The command is top, top. So top is a command that will show you the running process in the Linux. If you want to monitor how many processes are currently active, what is currently going on, you need to use the top. Similarly, in the window, what you do in window, you open the task manager, you right click on the taskbar and you open the task manager. So it will show you all the running process. So similarly in the Linux, if you want to see the running process in your system, then you can use the top command, top. Just enter. Once you will press enter, you would be able to see the process. Here you can see the process. So every process, as I told you, there will be a PID value of every process. Who is running that process? So some of the process are running as a test user, some process are running as a root user. There is a PR value. I will discuss about it. There is NI value. There is VIRT value. There is RES, SHR, S, CPU utilization, how much CPU is being utilized, MEM, how much how much RAM is getting utilized, and time, since when this process is being used. And if you will use your right arrow key, then you can see the command, what process, what command is actually running. So you would be able to see the command as well. So this is how you can see the running process. Just like, let me discuss about this one, the top. So let me do one thing. Let me open the Firefox. So I am opening the Firefox here. So Firefox is on. I have opened anything. Now let me open the terminal. Let me see the process. So Firefox is on in the back end. Now let me run top, enter. So on the right side, you would be able to see the Firefox in some time. Let me see whether firewall is on, Firefox is on or off. Yes, it's on. And let me search something. Now let me go to the terminal, top, enter. It got hanged. It did not sense the Firefox yet. It will show the Firefox. It will accept the signal. Yes. See, the Firefox has come. Firefox is running. You can see it is going up and down because that's not in use actually. So that's going up and down. If I will run any process, if I will start downloading something, if I will run any video over there, then it will come on the top. Whatever activity is being executed currently, that will come on the top. So firewall is in variation state. Currently, you can see Firefox, not firewall. Firefox is in the variation state. It is running. You can see Firefox is in a running process now. And how much CPU, how much RAM it is utilizing, you can see that. इसको fix हो जाने दो. It is not in use. That's the reason it is just running in the variation. So it is same like your task manager. In the task manager, whatever process are currently running, you would be able to see that. Similarly, in the Linux, you can use the top command in order to see the running process. Now, if I go to my Linux machine, in my Linux machine, let me start from the beginning. So in the beginning, you can see every process will have one of the PID value. So let me write it down. What options are coming here? so that I can explain you. So once you will use the top command, what parameters will come? So the first parameter will be your PID value. PID value will appear. Then next you can see the user who is running that task, which user has initiated that operation. So we can see user as well. Then we can see the PR value. Then we can see NI. Then we can see VIRT. Then we can see RES and SHR. S CPU RAM. Percentage CPU. Percentage memory. And if I will scroll it on the right side, you can see the time when the process got initiated. So it will show the time in seconds along with the process name. Command is called your process name. What process is running here? So time plus command. So time, command. These are the option which is coming if I use the top command. If I run the top, so you would be able to see these different options. Now, what is the meaning of this option? Let's discuss. Before that, let me do one thing. Let me just reduce the font. If I use the top command now, the font is reduced. Now you are able to see all the parameters in a single screen. I had to use the right arrow because I have zoomed my screen. The terminal was zoom in. That's the reason I have to use the right arrow key. If I will not zoom in my screen, then you can see all the parameters in a single section. You can see PID, you can see username, PR value, NI value, VIRT, RES, everything is in a single console. Now, here you can see a lot of process are running in the backend. There are a lot of process which is running in the backend. Every process has got one of the unique value which is called PID, process ID value. Here, there are some process which is running by the user, which is running by the root. So if any user has initiated any process, you would be able to see that. Now you can see there is one of the process which is called top. Top means the command that I have typed. I have typed top command, so that's the reason I am able to see that. Even Firefox process is also running here somewhere. This one you can see. Where is Firefox? Yeah, this one. So Firefox process is also running here. Top command is also running here. So whatever command, whatever process I will execute, I would be able to see that along with the timing since when it is running. So there are some process which is running in the backend. There are some process which is we are opening, that we have opened. S means this S. This one I will discuss now, but this S means what is the state of that process. So if any process is showing as S, S means stopped. The process is not running, but somehow it is consuming my resources. Just like here you can see, there is a command called tuned. This process is open, but what is the S? What is the state? It is stopped. The process is stopped, but still it is utilizing my CPU. You can see the CPU is getting utilized by 0.3%. The RAM is getting utilized by 1.7%. It is running since 1 minute 45 seconds, but this process is in stop condition. So S means the process is stopped. However, it is still using my RAM, my CPU, and you would be able to see the timing. It's running since 2 minutes 8 seconds. And what is the process name? It's genome-terminal. This is one of the command which is running in the backend. Now, when we talk about the top process, so top process, you can see it's in running condition. it's showing R. Yeah. See, it is showing R. R means it is currently in running because we are using this command. We are checking what activities are going on in the system. So this top command is in used. That's the reason it is showing R. R means running. It is using my 0.2% of CPU, 0.1% of RAM, and it is running since last 55 seconds. So once you will refresh it, the timing will get changed. Now you can see it's 67 seconds. Once you will refresh it again, refresh means once you will press enter, then again you can see the timings are getting incremented. So once you will press enter, the timings will get changed because we are running this process since a lot of time. If I will press enter, enter, then you can see 94 seconds have already passed away. If I will again press enter, you can see it's around 1 minute 3 seconds. So in order to refresh the process, in order to check the latest timing, you need to press enter. So you would be able to see that. So top command will help you to see the running process. Now in the disclaimer, in the overview on the top, if I use the top command, see top, enter. Now you can see top command is running since 11 minutes 53 seconds. It's around 11 minutes. One user is currently operating. You are logged in with one user. And what is the name of that user? That user name is test. How much is the average load? So the load is 0 because we are not doing anything actively. So the load is 0 on the system. How many tasks are running in the backend? So in total, 239 tasks are running in the backend. Some tasks are stopped, some are in running condition. You can see 237 are in running condition. There is 0 process which is sleeping, means nothing is in sleeping state. Stopped condition, it is not reflecting anything. There is one zombie process as well. Here there is a average memory utilization. It's currently like in total this much amount of memory is there, like there is around 4 GB of RAM, out of which this much is free and this one is in used, and this is being used as a cache memory. Cache memory is used to increase the performance of the system. There is a swap partition in the Linux. Swap means it is just like a virtual memory that helps to improve the performance of Linux machine. So it is double of your RAM mostly, but you can customize the swap partition space as well. So if you want to improve the performance of your Linux, then you can create the swap partition. So swap partition size is this much, out of which this space is free, 0% is being used, means we are not using any special memory swap partition to increase the performance of the device. So swap is not in use now. So this is the overview disclaimer, and from the bottom you can see all the status, what is happening currently, what is currently running on. So this is the top that you can use. Now what are the meaning of this option? Let's discuss. So let's go to our word PID. You can understand PID means process ID value. So whenever any process will run, it will have one of the process ID value. Just like it's in numerical format, you can see, just like this process is running, top process is running here, and the process ID value is 3680. That's the process ID value. So every process will have one of the process ID value. Now the second one is user. User means which user has initiated that process. If I am logged in with the test user account and if I start something, so in the name of process, my user account name would appear. If any process has been started by a different user account, then the name of that account would reflect here. Then comes the PR. PR means priority value, priority ID. So you can see there are some IDs here. 20 is the priority number, 39 is the priority number, 0 means this task does not hold any priority. So whatever is the number, the less is the number, the higher the priority. If 0, if it is, yes, any question? Okay. The less the number, the higher the priority. Here you can see the process mostly which is in stop status, that has the priority value of 0, means that is not in running state now.
सर प्रायोरिटी पीआर होता है ना सर?
PR is the priority. I've muted. So PR is the priority value. Priority value helps you to identify the priority of that particular process. So you can see multiple processes have the same priority value. Maybe they are dependent on each other. That's the reason it is showing the same priority value. Lower the number, higher the priority. It works like a rank. Most of the process have 0 priority value because they are mostly in the stop status, or they are mostly in the I status. I means initiated, that is just started, that just got started. It is not in running state, we have just started that. So I means initiated. You can see some of the process are coming in the minus as well. The process ID is coming as minus as well. See, priority ID. Some of the priority IDs you can see in minus. Currently there is no minus, but earlier it was showing minus as well. Minus means it has dead. It has become zombie. So there is no use of that particular priority. Then comes the NI value. NI value is a nice value. So nice value is nothing actually. That's one of the unique identifier value that helps to identify the process in the backend. So it is used by the backend of the Linux to understand the process values. So NI is called nice value. It has nothing to do with the process. It just gives the signal to the backend of the Linux. Just give me 1 second. Just okay. So where is my terminal? Yes. So nice value is just a backend value that is used by the Linux machine to identify and to give the signal to the process. Like after few intervals, it is going to send the signal from the backend to the process that whether it is working or not, whether the process is alive or not. If it will feel that it is not alive, it is not responding, then it will declare it as dead. It will declare it as zombie. So nice value plays a very important role, but yes, actively it is not doing anything. It is just helping the Linux system to send the signal that whether the process is in running condition or not. So after a particular interval, it is going to send the signal. And the minus IDs means zombie IDs. The process is just initiated or it is just stopped. It is not in use, but still it is utilizing some of your resources. So currently there is no utilization, but yes, there can be some utilization by some process. Maybe this is very light process. That's the reason there is no utilization. Minus means it has become dead. The signal has become dead. It has declared as zombie. Then comes the VIRT. VIRT means virtual. Let's discuss about this part. There are two terms, VIRT and RES. Now, what is this? So VIRT means virtual memory. And your RES, it is like your resident set size. This is the full form of RES, resident set size. RE means resident, S means set size. Now, what is the difference between both? Let's talk about window. In window, you might have seen that we have the hard disk available. If I check what hard disk I have in my system, so I need to go to disk management. Once I will go to the disk management, you can see I have one of the hard drive and the size is 476.81 GB. This is one of the SSD drive that is attached in my laptop. Now out of this volume, out of this space, I have created the partitions. I have C drive, I have D drive, I have F drive. I have 3 drives. And I have allocated the space. I have taken the space from this total and I have created rest of the partition. My C drive space is this much, my D drive is this much, and my F drive is this much. If I go to the file explorer, you can see I have C drive, I have D drive, and I have F drive. C drive has got total space of 255 GB. The total space of my C drive is 255 GB, out of which 154 GB is free. It means how much is being consumed. So in total, this will take a lot of time. We can just use the calculator. So I have around 255 GB of C drive, out of which 154 GB is free. So it means 101 GB is being used. 101 is in use. Similarly, here you can see the total space was allocated for this drive was 19.5 GB, out of which 862 MB is free. Here also you can see 180 GB was allocated, out of which 166 GB is free. Now, whatever we allocate to our hard disk, that is called VIRT, virtual memory, VIRT, whatever we have allocated. So in terms of context, in terms of process, let's understand this as context of process. So suppose there is some process running. What you have done, you have started any downloading. You have run any downloading. Any downloading is happening in the Linux. Whenever you start any process, this is one of the process. Whenever you start any process in the Linux, every process required some resources. Resources in the sense, whatever you do in the system that needs some form of RAM, some form of CPU, some form of network, some form of disk. So that's called resources. So whenever you start any process, it requires some of the resources. Suppose downloading is saying that I will run, when I will run, I will need 1 GB of RAM and I will be using 4% of CPU. This is what the process is assuming. It is demanding. The downloading process is demanding that when I will start, I will require 1 GB of RAM and I will need 4% of CPU as a resource. So this is the demand. Just like here, we allocate some of the space, just like in my C drive, I have given 255 GB of space, but it is not in use. The complete space is not in use. It is just we have allocated it virtually. It is a virtual space that I have allocated, but that's not completely in use. In reality, what is being used? In reality, the space that we have got, it was around 101 GB something. So that is in use. Similarly, when we talk about in the process, so process is going to demand some of the resources from our system. But in reality, these resources will not be in use. That's the demand only. That's the demand of download, that when I will start, I will need this amount of RAM, this amount of CPU. But in reality, the resource utilization depends upon the load. It depends upon the load. Load means how much weightage of file we are downloading in the system. If we are downloading 20 GB of data, there will be heavy load on the resources. So this can get increase or this can get decrease. This utilization may get increase or decrease. If we are just downloading 10 KB of file from the online source, so that is not going to consume most of the resources. So there will be less load on the system. So process can demand any resources basis on the analysis, but in reality, it is not going to consume that particular resource. The utilization can be more or it can be less, depending upon the load of the task. Just like here in the Linux machine, you can see here you can see there is a VIRT value. VIRT means the virtual memory that it is asking for, means the RAM that it is asking for. So it's in KB. These values are in KB. So VIRT means the value, the RAM, which is demanded by the process. A process is saying that I need 2 GB of RAM in order to function. So that's called VIRT. Just like in order to improve the performance of our system, we generally increase the size of C drive, but that actual space is not in use. We have just allocated the size so that the performance may get increased, but in reality, that is not completely used. So similarly, VIRT means the size, the resource that process is demanding. Now, what is RES, resident set size? So resident set size is the actual allocation of the resources that is currently in use. Means process is saying that I need 2 GB of RAM in order to function properly. And resident set size means out of 2 GB, my process is only using 1 GB of RAM. That's called resident set size. So on the real time, how much space, how much resource is being utilized by the process, that's called RES. The space, the RAM demanded by the processor is called VIRT. So in the current time, whatever resource is being used in the RAM, that's called RES. So here, if I go to the terminal, you can see there is a VIRT value and there is a RES value. VIRT means which is demanded by the process, and RES means in reality what RAM is being consumed. That's the difference between VIRT and RES. Any doubt, any question?
सर RES वैल्यू हमेशा लेस होगी ना VIRT से?
It is not always true. Sometimes what happens, sometimes the process will assume that I would need 1 GB of RAM in order to execute a task. Now what happens, you are running any process. Suppose, let's say you start any downloading. Once you will start any downloading depends upon your network bandwidth as well. It also depends upon your network speed. When the speed will be less, your system will consume a lot of resource because there will be load. There will be load on the downloading. So if your internet speed is less, your process, your resources will be utilized heavily. So that time the process will not be able to assume that how much VIRT is actually required, because process has earlier assumed that I need 1 GB of RAM in order to run the downloading, but that calculation was based on when the internet speed was good. But suddenly the internet packet got dropped. Now internet speed is slow. So that time the VIRT process will not be able to understand, it will not be able to analyze on the spot that how much resource is required. So that time the VIRT value can be less, but your RES value can be more. So in special situations, in special circumstances like this, the RES value can be more than the VIRT. Otherwise, in most of the cases, in 99.9% of the cases, the RES value will always be less than the VIRT value. Understood? Just like here, you can see the VIRT value is high and the RES value is less. Yes, Seth.
Sir, actually, I have a question. This is
Mhm.
not related to current topic.
Yes.
Sir, in my current company,
Mhm.
there is notice period of 60 days, 2 months.
Okay.
So, sir, I am thinking of giving a resignation so that after 2 months, like you have said that in July our course will be completed.
Mhm.
So during placement, I will be free for the placement because the shift is rotational in the current company. So during placement, it will be difficult for me to give the interviews.
Don't worry. See, don't think about the future now. If you will resign from the job, suppose in the market, if any high recession comes up, and suppose if
Yeah.
you don't get the job within 2 months, if you get the job within 3 months, then what you will do? You will sit idle. Your experience will get wasted. So don't worry about this. When the interview will be started, the timings will be managed automatically. Every company have the rotational kind of notice period and rotational kind of environment. So company can understand that once the interview will get started, the timing will be scheduled accordingly. So don't worry. Don't give the resignation. As per my advice, I don't recommend anyone to give the resignation in the advance, because we can never assume the market condition. Suppose if any COVID like situation happens in the market, and if any most of the job gets freeze, then what you are going to do?
Yes, sir. Correct.
Nowadays, for the senior level person like us, this is happening in the market. The person who are earning more than 20 lakh rupees per annum, if their package is more than 20 plus, then this is happening in the market. The jobs are getting freeze for the people like us. If we are searching any job, the job is very less in the Delhi NCR market. If we are getting any offer, that is getting on hold. Less CTC jobs are there. 12 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 8 lakhs, that is there in the market. But 20 plus lakh salaries job is hold since last 2 or 3 months. So we can never assume the situation of the market. So the better idea would be to stay on the job. Once the interview will be started, you would be able to manage that. So don't worry about the shift timing and all. Even I have, like, every 2 week my company change my shift. Currently I'm doing morning 7 to evening 4 shift, Monday to Friday. On Saturday Sunday I'm on leave. But yes, so companies are very bad actually. All the companies are bad.
Actually, it
Just
is becoming very
yes,
hectic sometimes.
yes,
That's why.
this happens.
Sir, in
And
support
in
role, yeah.
in IT, that exists. Like in IT there will be rotational kind of shift, and you will not get the shift according to your wish. Yes, but definitely there are some jobs which have the European support. So in European support there are mostly day shift, but in India most of the customers are based on US and Canada, so that's the reason there is night shift kind of thing. Actually IT is like that. The IT industry is like that. There are some
Mm.
profile which have some less workload, there are some profile which has high workload, but yes, this shift kind of thing we cannot, it is not in our control actually. ये जो shift का timing है ना, that's
Yes, sir.
that's fully in the control of the company. We are just like a ghoda, and they are our lagam is in their hand. They are operating us. So
Actually, sir, I'm leaving. Actually,
yes,
sir,
yes.
I'm thinking of leaving 10 to 15 days before because, sir, this job is very hectic. There is this job is, sir, our company is Our role is
every
on chat support, so
every job is active.
continuously,
Every job is,
continuously.
I was like in the morning I just got my hepatitis B vaccination today. कुछ चल रहा है, vaccination चल रहे हैं सबके. So I got my hepatitis B vaccination today morning, and I was out with my family. I was for the outing. My company manager calls me and he says that, where are you? Can you log in now? We are facing a huge crunch of hacking activity on the Azure tenant. So can you log in and can you check what is happening? I said I'm not available. I said I'm not available. I am in the outside location. I will be there at home by 10 o'clock. And my manager was saying that I will pay you extra. Can you log in? You know what kind of fool behavior it was. I will pay you extra. Can you log in now? I am saying I'm not available in this location. I am not in my home. So company are like that. Company ऐसी ही होती है. We cannot do anything with the company. Everyone is tensed. Everyone is tensed with their job. सब बंदे परेशान है. It is not you. I am earning very fatty package. I am also tensed with my job. मैं खुद भी परेशान हूँ.
सर
But
अगर प्लेसमेंट के समय पर
yes.
अगर कोई बंदा जैसे जॉब नहीं कर रहा है,
Mhm.
तो इंटरव्यू के समय पर कुछ मतलब डिफरेंस आता है क्या, या कोई दिक्कत आती है क्या कि व्हाई आर यू नॉट वर्किंग, समथिंग लाइक दैट?
Yes. They ask the question. It
Even
depends.
even if
It depends
even if
upon the
someone has
manager.
left job
Yes, it
recently.
depends. See, it depends upon person to person. Yes, definitely this question will be asked. If interviewer will notice this, then definitely this question will arise that why you are sitting idle. Don't you have any job? That time you should have a solid explanation. You cannot say to the interviewer that I was feeling very stressed in my last job. That's the reason I just left it. So that is not a satisfactory answer, because you will get the counter question. The interviewer may say that if I will offer you the job and if you will be stressed over here as well, then you will resign in advance without any job. So that's not a good decision. So you should have the satisfactory answer that time. That should be justificable. That is good. Like most of the people have lost their job nowadays because of the COVID, because of the downsizing, because of the recession. So that is a valid point, that my company has fired me because they were downsizing the company, they were in loss, so they just fired me. So that is a good point, that okay, you got fired from the company, but if you are saying that I just left my job because of stress, I was unable to handle the stress, I just left my job, that's not a satisfactory answer to the interviewer. But that's
Yes,
the
sir.
reality, but that is not a satisfactory answer to the interviewer. It will look like negative impression.
Yes, sir.
If you say that I just left my job because I cannot do the night shift, I have a medical issue, maybe that company also have the night shift, so that is going to give the negative remark and you will not be selected. So this happens in the corporate world. You should not reveal the reality during the interview. कभी सच बताओ ही मत, that why you are leaving your current job, what is the problem with the job, why you are looking for switch.
Sir, but
So
I have 2
Evision
months
will
of
arrange the
notice period.
interview for us, no?
Yes, Evision will arrange the interview.
Sir, I'm saying
In
that, but
June.
I have 2 months of notice period.
I have 3 months.
So, sir, during interview, like if I got selected, I have to wait for 2 months.
Don't worry. I will discuss this question with the admin team of Evision, that how they are going to handle this notice period task.
Yeah,
If
because sir, I want to leave safely. Like I want to take exit safely so that my experience don't waste.
okay, I will discuss this point with the admin team of Evision this week, and I will clarify you by next week that
Yes.
what is currently happening with this kind of situation, how they are going to tackle the notice period part. So I will discuss it with the team, and then I would be able to clarify how they are working in that particular aspect.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So because in notice period they are very strict. Like if एक दिन भी कम किया या फिर कुछ ऐसा किया तो they are not giving safe exit. So
मैंने
our
नोटिस पीरियड
experience
पे
will be
मैंने
wasted.
मैंने लास्ट कंपनी में 5 दिन की छुट्टी कर ली थी नोटिस पीरियड पे, और बोल दिया था
छुट्टी
जो
नहीं
करना
देते वो
है।
लोग.
मैंने कर ली थी ना खुद ही, मैंने जो करना है कर लो, जाऊंगा उसी टाइम पे। because I know the HR because I know the HR law very well.
Yeah.
कैसे लगी? आँख खोल के नहीं चला? आजा।
इसको लग गई.
But sir, 6 months of experience is okay for the.
Yes, 6 months, yes, minimum 6 months of experience would be required in the IT industry in order to switch the job into cloud. Okay, now let's understand this process part. इसको खत्म करते हैं. So I will take your general questions later on. Now just let me know, do you have any doubt on the VIRT and RSS? You can call it RSS as well, you can call it RES as well. Resident set size. And RES, resident set size. RE means resident. S means set size. So now let me know if you have any doubt, any question around it, anything. कुछ पूछना है?
सर PR वैल्यू का मतलब आपने बताया था, जो लेस द नंबर हायर द प्रायोरिटी. तो
Yes.
उसमें हम इसमें 20 है सर इसका प्रायोरिटी, तो वो उसका लो प्रायोरिटी होगा क्या?
No, that's a good, 20 is a good number. It ranks, see, the priority, suppose if any process have 100 priority value, 100 means that has very less priority. So that process will run after a lot of time. That does not hold that much importance. If any process value is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 20, it holds the greater priority. So that will be given the highest preference when it will execute. So the less is number, higher is the priority. So it is not something that 20 is a bad, 20 is good. But if your priority value is like 80, 90, 100, 200, so that is somehow the less priority. It is just like the ranking system that you get in IIT, IIM, JEE kind of exams. The less is the number, the higher is the preference. So it is just like a ranking system. So the less is number, the higher is the priority. This priority value can also be changed depending upon the process that you are running on. You can customize this priority value as well. This is possible. Now, if you want to kill any process in window, what you do in Windows, simply you select it, right click and end task. In Linux, what you need to do, because it is completely command based. So what you need to do in the Linux, if you want to delete, if you want to kill any process, if you want to stop or terminate any process, what you need to do, there is a command called kill. Let me write one of the command. Let me check one of the process here so that I can use that to kill it. Let me see whether my Firefox is open or not. It is still open. Let me check the process. So let's see where is the Firefox process. Let me decrease the font. Top. Now, where is the Firefox running? Let's look at that process. Firefox. In case you can see the Firefox process ID, just let me know. Otherwise, मुझे ही ढूंढना पड़ेगा. Let me refresh the Firefox once again. Now let's go to the command. Now you can see Firefox and the process ID of the Firefox is 3070. So I just refreshed the Firefox and it is coming on the top now. So 3070 is the process ID of Firefox. Now, in order to kill any process, what you need to do in order to stop it, just type kill space the process ID. So what was the process ID? It was, I think, 3070, right?
Right.
So kill space 3070 means kill space process ID. Then press enter. Once you will do this, let's see what happened to the Firefox. Now you can see Firefox is not open. It is closed. If I open the Firefox again, then it will open from the scratch. Again, if I go to my terminal, again, if I use stop command, I would be able to see the Firefox. Let me do some activity on the Firefox. Let me go to the terminal. Now you can see the Firefox again, and the process ID it has got is 4197. Now it has got a new process ID 4197. See, if I will terminate this, if I will kill space 4197, then again in the backend, my Firefox has been closed. It is not opened. It is closed. Even if you will check the top again, you will not be able to find the Firefox. If I run the top, no Firefox option would appear here. So in order to kill any process, you just need to run the kill space process ID. Just like what is the process ID of my top? So the process ID of top is nothing. See, it has not got any process ID because it is not a process. It is command actually. Command is not a process. What is process? Process is like your downloading activity, your gaming activity, if you are working on any application, that's the process. So that process will have the process ID. But the thing which is not the process, that will not be allocated the process ID. That will be allocated one of the preference ID. Just like here, initially top does not have any process ID because it was just a command. We just run the top and we just press enter. So it was not it did not receive any process ID. But after some time, what we are doing, we are using this. We are using this command in order to find some data. So if we are actively working on any command, that time it will be allocated one of the process ID. Just like here, you can see the process ID has been allocated. This systemd has one process ID. This one has two process ID. So initially, whatever we type, that will act as a command. Within few seconds, if it is in running state, if we are doing something on that, it will get one of the PID value. In case if I do kill space 4549. 4549 is the process ID of top command. So through top, we are able to check all this process. If I kill the top process, kill space 4549 and enter, it is saying it is not a process. Because it is not a process actually, it is the command that I am using. Process is, as I told you, process means any application which is in running condition, any file which is in running condition, any downloading that is happening, any video that is running, that's the process. Any game that is running in the backend, any copy pasting activity that is happening in the backend. So that's the process. Top is not a process, top is a command. But since we are running, we are using this top in order to analyze our data. That's the reason it has got one of the PID value. But you cannot kill it. Understood? You can close this. You can close here. You cannot kill that because you are currently working on the terminal. So you cannot directly kill the process while working on the terminal because that's using your terminal. Any question, any doubt? कुछ पूछना है?
No, sir, clear.
So these are the component
Yes.
in the top command. The main component is CPU and the RAM utilization and the time since when the process is running, and the command. Command means the actual process that is running. This is the main parameter, and PID is also the main parameter. PID and the user who has run the process. Rest of the things are just for the depth understanding. What is VIRT, what is RES, that's for the depth understanding. But generally in the real company, what we have to monitor the utilization. How much CPU is being utilized, how much RAM is being utilized. So whenever we would like to check the utilization status, we will be checking these parameters, like what is running, since when it is running, and how much resources it is utilizing in the backend, and who has run that process. We don't see these kind of parameters. We don't look at these values. But yes, we should know the meaning of that. In case if any issue occurs on the Linux environment, then we would be needing this. So the Linux guy are going to do this kind of things during the performance tuning. During the performance tuning of the Linux, they will have to understand how much is the current physical status of the RAM and how much is in being used, so that they can troubleshoot the issues. In case there is no screen on the Linux, in case any task is throwing any error, then they will have to check this status. So the people who are working on the Linux core, who are the Linux administrator guys, they should have the sound understanding of these two values, the nice value, VIRT, RES, SHR. So they should have the understanding of these values. For you, the main thing is this one, the highlighted yellow one. But yes, you should also know the concept of these different terminologies. So top command is clear. Top is very used command in the company. Similar to top, there is itop as well. Itop is used in Ubuntu. If you are using Ubuntu in company, instead of top, you will have to use itop. So we are in the Red Hat Enterprise Linux, so we will not be able to use the itop. We can only use top. Now there is one more command which is called PS. PS means process. It will show you all the process which is running in the Linux machine. All the process. Not all the process. It will show you all the process which is running by the current user in the Linux machine. So we are logged in with the test user account. If I will run PS command, then you would be able to see the process which is run by the test user. So it will show you the process that has been executed by the current user account, which is logged in. So currently we are logged in with the test, and through test, two processes are running. The first process is bash. Bash means your terminal is open. That's the first process. We have opened this screen. And the second process is you have run the PS. PS what? PS means this command. So you have opened the bash. Bash means your terminal. And on the terminal, you are running the PS command. That's your second process. So the process which is run by the current user, which is logged in into the system, you can use PS command to check that process. If you will use stop, you would be able to see the process run by all the user, whether it is root, whether it is a different user. But if you will use the PS command, so through PS, you can check the process which is run by the current user. So current user has run two process. Bash means he has opened the terminal. Along with the time, you can see that. And PS, he has run the PS command as well. So if you will refresh it, the timing will be differentiated after some time. It takes the timer of 1 minute, the complete 1 minute, then it will resume it. Then it will show you the real time timings. So this is also one of the command that you can use to check the process. Then there is one more command. Another command is PS space AUX. PS space auxiliary. If you want to check all the process as per user wise, then you can use PS command. It is similar like your top. So let's use PS space AUX and press enter. Then you can see all the process which is running on the system as per user wise. Let me go to the top. See PS space aux. So it is giving you the same parameter. Which user has initiated the process? What is the PID value? How much CPU is used? How much RAM is used? What is the virtual memory? What is the RSS? RSS means your RES. RES and RSS both are same. TTY. TTY means terminal. On which terminal it is running. So terminal means our command screen. So currently it is showing question mark. Question mark means it is not able to identify the terminal. So terminal name is bash. Once it is able to identify that, then it will reflect here as bash. So all the process C, you can see TTY2. TTY2 means terminal number 2. So command, this is the number actually. TTY means terminal, the command prompt, and it will get one of the value. Where the question mark is coming, it is not able to identify where it is currently running. So after some time, it will identify that and the name would appear here. So we have nothing to do with this TTY value. The main thing is this one again, the VS RSS. So our VSS means your virtual set of memory. RSS means the memory, the RAM, which is in use. Then status. So S means it is in starting state. I means you just initiated it when it got started. So it is showing in minutes. 11 minutes, 41 seconds back, you started the process. Then it is running the timings. So you can refresh it from your up arrow key or from enter as well. Then what is running? Again, the same thing, command. So it will show you the command that is currently running in the backend as a process. So top and PS space aux both shows the same parameter. So either you can run PS space aux or you can run TOP top. So both the commands are same. Then there is one more command, PS space lax. What is the use of this command? If you want to check the parent process ID, as I told you, there are some process on which another process would be dependent. So there will be child process in the system. There will be parent process in the system. If you want to check the parent process ID as well, if you want to check which process is the parent process, then you will have to use the lax command, because through PS, through top, you cannot check your parent process ID. You cannot understand which one is child process, which one is the parent process. So there is only one option through which you can check the parent and child relationship, which is PS space lax. So if I will run PS space lax and press enter, then you can see, let me go on the top. PS space lax. Now you can see there is a user ID, because every process will be started by some of the user. So there will be a user ID. Here is the PID. PID means process ID, and PPID is also showing here. Here the PPID is 0. It means it is not a parent process. It is an individual process. If any PPID value is showing, it means that's a parent process. So the individual process ID is 3. Parent process ID is 2. Again, there is a priority value. There is a NI value, nice value. So from here, you can see the parent process ID. Just like you can see the PPID is 22222. The same is the PPID means the process ID here is 2. This is the main process. KTREAD command is running in the backend, and PPID, whatever process have the PPID as 2, it means who is the parent? The parent is this one, because this process has 2 as the process ID. This 3 process ID has the PPID, means parents ID of 2. It means this 3 is the child process of parent ID 2, means this process is depend on this process. So this is the main process, process number 2. Process number 3 is another process, but it has the parent ID of 2. It means this 3 number process is the child process of process number 2. Similarly, process number 4 has the parent ID of 2. It means this process number 4 is the child process of process number 2. Similarly, 11 process number also have the process ID of 2. It means this 11 number process is the child of this process. So you can see a lot of process which has PPID as 2, means the parent is process number 2. So these all are the child process. Understood? So you can see there are a lot of child process of process number 2. Then there is one process where the PPID is 915. It means 917 is the child of 915 number process. And 915 is the child of process number 1. This can also happen. Father will have their children. Children can have their own children. Then the father will become the grandfather. So here also this situation exists. The father, the grandfather, the great-grandfather, the great-great-great-grandfather. So every child can have the parent process. The parent process can have their parent process as well. So this is how you can identify which one is the child and which one is the parent. Understood?
सर हेलो
Yes. Yes, yes.
सर, अगर हम पेरेंट प्रोसेस आईडी 2 को अगर किल कर देते हैं तो इसमें
Mhm.
मोस्ट ऑफ द सिग्नल्स बंद हो जाएंगे.
Yes. If you will kill the parent process ID 2, then most of the child process will get closed. But if any child process is in running condition, if it is doing some activity, then it will not get closed. It will be running, but the parent will be closed after some period of time because there is no parent. Child is running. Once the child will finish its job, then again it will become inactive. And once it will become inactive, there is no parent. So no job will be allocated to the child. Then it will become zombie. That's how the zombie will be created. Understood?
Yes.
Who is sending me the message? Okay. Leave it. Now there is one more command. So kill has been discussed, kill space process ID. Now there is one more command. In case if you want to check the process ID of any specific process. So we have a lot of command. We can use stop, we can use aux command, we can use our ps command, we can use our lex command. So we have a lot of command, but specifically if I want to check the individual process ID of any running process, then how can I check it? It's very simple. Just like in case if I open the Firefox. So Firefox is one of my process. If I go to the terminal and if I want to check the process ID of my Firefox, that's very easy. You can type PID off without any space. Just type PID off. I want to check PID value of, then type the name of process. So I want to check PID of my Firefox. So I will type Firefox here, then enter. Now you can see the PID value. So Firefox is using a lot of PID values. Means it is consuming a lot of process in the backend. It has around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 process. Let me open one of the notepad file. So let me go to this application. And let me open one of the text editor. I am opening one of the text editor here. So in the backend, I have opened the text editor and I have written something here. Now let's go to the terminal. PID off. This is called, this is like the editor that I have opened. That's called Genome editor. The name of this editor is Genome, G-N-O-M-E in the Linux. So PID of Genome. So if I will press enter, you can see there is no PID. No PID is coming because PID is not allocated yet. So process ID is not allocated to this editor now. After some time it will be allocated, but right now it is not allocated to it. So whatever process you will open, even if I use stop command, I can see the genome shell is open. Genome shell means the editor that I have opened. And now it has got one of the PID value. Similarly, my Firefox is open in the backend. So again, I would be able to see it here. So let me do some activity on the Firefox. Now let me go to the terminal. Now you can see Firefox and it has got the PID value of 4958. So this is also one of the command, PID of then command name or the process name that you can type. So you would be able to check the PID value of a particular process as well. Now there are two commands. Kill, let me clarify you, killing process. So there are two type of killing in the Linux. The first one is normal killing and the second one is forceful killing. Normal killing and forceful killing. Just like in window, if I open my task manager, in case if I want to close any task, if I want to stop any task, what we do, suppose I want to end the Google Chrome task. So I can normally go to Google Chrome and I can close it. I can close it from here. And another thing is, if it is not getting closed properly from here, what I can do is I can right click and I can forcefully end it. So that's called forcefully end, the rigid end of the task. So if I am not able to close any task through normal mode, then I can go to the task manager and I can select that task and I can end it. You might have done this in your company as well. Whenever there is any hanging issue and someone is not able to close anything, then you go to the task manager, then you select the process, right click and forcefully end it. You might have done this many a times in your company. So similarly in the Linux, if you are not able to kill any process, if you just run kill space PID number, if you run this command kill space PID number and press enter, just like we have seen that, and if you are not able to kill any process through normal mode, then you can forcefully close it as well. You would be able to kill it forcefully as well. Then what is forceful killing? So in order to do the forceful killing, there is a command which is called kill space -15. -15 means -15 space PID number. So you need to apply my -15, kill space -15, not -15, it's -9 actually. Kill space -9 space PID number. That's the value that you can use in order to forceful kill any task. If you are not able to close any task properly, then you will use kill space -9 space the PID number. Then it will get closed forcefully. This is the command. So you will have to use -9. Then there is one more command which is called kill space -15 space PID number. So it is the normal killing. It is normal killing of any process. Means when you run kill space PID number in order to kill any process, so actually in the backend, this command is running. When you type kill space PID number and press enter, in the backend actually kill space -15 space PID number is running. And we just type kill space PID number. But in the backend, this is the actual command that is running. But in order to forceful kill anything, you will have to run kill space -9 space PID number. So you will have to remember this one, because for the normal killing, you don't have to remember any value. You can simply write kill space PID number. But for forceful killing, you will have to use kill space -9 space PID number. So these two are the command. Now, if you are doing any forceful killing, that process is called sig kill. And if you are doing any normal killing, that process is called sig term in the Linux. If you are doing any forceful killing, means if you are running this command kill space -9 space PID number, that is called sig kill, the forceful killing. if you are killing the process as normal, kill space PID number, that is called sick term. Means -15 is the value of normal killing. Sick term -9 or -9 is the value of forceful killing. It is called sick kill. Understood? Any
Yes, sir.
questions? Good. So it was only there in this process. In the process, these are the 4 to 5 command that you will have to remember. It is like your task manager in the Linux. That's it. Nothing more than that. So I will make the notes out of it. Then I will just upload it. In the next Saturday, there will be final class of the Linux. I have to cover sudo. I could not do it today. It will take some time. So I will cover this sudo part. Then I will cover one logs part. Not logs part, yes. Logs part I have to cover because I have not covered it. So on Saturday, I will cover it. On Sunday, you guys will start your AWS portal. This could have been completed actually in the last weekend, but I have taken the leave, so I could not complete it. That's the reason one class got extended. So on Saturday, we will cover this. Sudo is pending. Logs is pending. So if you will have any doubt, you can come along with that doubt and we will cover this 2 topic on Saturday only. On Sunday, we can start working on the AWS console. That's the target of the next weekend. I just want to ask you or just clarify one thing. Will you be available on Saturday on morning just for the next Saturday, if it is feasible? Otherwise, I can take it up in the evening as well because I have some urgent task. So in case you guys can be available in the morning on Saturday only, that's good. If not, then we can run on the same timing as well. So just let me know so that I can schedule
What
the
times on
session
Saturday?
accordingly. You
Okay,
can
sir.
suggest me the timing, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever.
10 will be fine, sir.
10
10
is
will be
okay, sir.
fine. 10 a.m. is okay. It
Yes, sir.
means. Okay, so
Yes.
for this Saturday, I will plan the session for 10 a.m. On Sunday, it will be on the same timing. It will be on night. Just for this Saturday, because I have some very important tasks. So in case if it can be on morning, that's good. Otherwise, I will be there at my home at night. So रात को भी ले सकता हूँ मैं if you are not available. So if you are available, okay, then I will schedule it on 10 a.m. Okay. Otherwise,
Okay.
if I
Hello,
don't
sir.
schedule it on 10 a.m.,
Hello.
then it will happen at night. You would be able to see the status on the portal. On Friday, I will upload the status along with the link and the timing. Then you would be able to get the timing. On Friday night or by Friday evening, I will upload the status regarding this time. So maybe it will happen on the same time in the evening. Maybe it can be in the morning on Saturday. So you will get the time details by Friday. Okay.
Hello,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
Hello,
Yes. Yes. Tell me.
sir. Sir,
बोलो बोलो. ये सर बोल के चुप हो गया. Maybe network issue.
hello, sir.
Any question? Yes. Yes. Tell me.
सर सैटरडे भी हमारा ऑफिस है सर, कैसा करना सर?
मतलब मॉर्निंग में ऑफिस है?
हाँ, मॉर्निंग है सर.
कोई नहीं तो नाइट में रख लेंगे यार. मैं तो पूछ रहा था.
ओके
ठीक है. चलो let's wrap
Okay.
up for the day. You can enjoy your night. Let's connect next weekend and I will upload all the videos and the note maybe by tonight or maybe by tomorrow morning. So you will get it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Anamika will share the link
Okay, sir.
or you can check the same link that you have. By morning, you would be able to see the status. So just enjoy your night. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye, sir.